And I sat down and spoke for 10 minutes and dried up. And I asked them to ask me questions. So they did, very graciously. They're all friends. Sent out 50 penny postcards. In those days, you could send a card for a penny. Sent out 50 and 6 came. And out of, sympathy, each gave $1 bill. So at least I paid $3 for the room, and I made $3. And that was my beginning. And then it grew from 3 to 10 to 20, and one night, when I had about 50, a man in the building saw me growing and growing and growing, and he thought he'd put a stop to it. And he was going to one of these New Thought conventions in Washington, D.C. And so he asked me to take his platform. And he had a very large audience of about 500. He thought that would throw me. And so I accepted his generous offer. I learned afterward his purpose was to simply get me out of the place. He thought I would simply make a monkey of myself before a vast audience who were trained differently. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for me, the next time I spoke, my room couldn't take them. I had to move several times in 6 months, and then I moved to an old church at track 1100. So you see, he thought he was going to hurt me. As Scripture teaches, you meant it evil. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. So I got his audience. And then, about 3 years later, for some little infraction of the laws of New York City, they put him away for a couple of years. And when he came out, he asked me if I would speak for him, and I said yes, without one penny. I will willingly speak for him, because no one else would speak for him. They cut him off completely and said, no, you don't realize how good you were to me. And so I will speak for you. And I went up and I spoke for him without taking one penny. And then he couldn't get going again. And then he and his secretary got into his car, turned on the ignition, closed up all things, and called it a day. So you see, you go through these things, and at moments they seem to be against you, and they're all for you, if you remain faithful to the end.